Hi, hello, welcome to Tea Time with TRA Tocklai. In this episode, we will talk about weed management. To talk about this, I have invited Dr. Prasanna Pyati, who is working as scientist in our agronomy division. Welcome, Dr. Prasanna.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm glad that I'm here today.
We will make some fruitful discussion today about weed management particularly. In the previous episode, we have spoken about weed properties of weeds. Today, let us see weed management in particular. What is all about weeds in tea plantation?
Sir, weed management is one of the vital aspects of tea agronomy. We know that tea is a perennial crop and it takes years to grow fully, cover the soil, to have a full developed plucking table. Once the table is formed, it covers the soil surface wherein it will avoid sunlight to reach the soil. If there is no sunlight, then there will be no weed germination. So it takes years, and during this growing period, weeds germinate due to exposed sunlight. They grow, they multiply, they compete with tea bushes for inputs like nutrients, soil moisture, light, and space. If it is unchecked, then it can reduce the tea yield by 20 to 30%. They can obstruct in plucking and other operations. They also act as hosts for pests and diseases. You can observe in the gardens where there is more weed infestation, there will be obviously more pest and disease occurrence.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So you have to keep the field free of weeds to keep away from pests and diseases also. They act as alternate host or something like?
Yes. Many of the insects lay eggs on the leaves and on weeds.
Okay.
So they multiply there only.
What are the common weeds in tea plantations?
Before managing any weeds, we should know the science behind the weeds. For better management of weeds, we should know what are the changes in the life cycle between the weeds, that we should know. Weeds are classified into grasses, sedges, and broadleaves.
Okay.
Grasses usually multiply or propagate sexually and asexual reproduction. Majorly, broadleaves multiply through seeds.
Okay.
They grow, they germinate, they grow, they set the flower, they set the seed, they disperse the seed, and then they multiply. Whereas in grasses, they have special vegetative parts like rhizomes, stolons, through which they multiply. Some of the grasses also multiply by seeds.
Last time also we discussed about this, that the conclusion was grasses are very difficult to control.
Yes.
I think these are all the reasons why, because it multiplies through various mechanisms.
Yes.
That's the reason why. Before getting into integrated weed management, we would like to understand from you the main differences between weed management and weed control.
Weed cannot be controlled permanently.
Okay.
They can be managed. Management can be done, but we cannot control the weeds.
Why is it so?
In ecology, there are diversified weed species that is present in the ecosystem where they have different properties like dormancy.
Okay.
If we control the weeds, then also there are some weeds which can last for 100 years. So they again, in the favorable condition, they again germinate. So you cannot completely control the weeds. You can manage it below the economic threshold level.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Once you uproot the weeds, it is just given back to the soil only, right? If at all, if it has taken up nutrients for its growth, that's going to be plowed back to the soil. Is that true?
If it is a leguminous weed, then before flowering, you can incorporate the same leguminous weed into the soil so that it can add organic matter as well as the nitrogen content.
Yeah.
Other than that, if you incorporate after flowering, they might have set the seeds and you are intentionally increasing the weed infestation.
Okay.
directly or indirectly.
Okay. Let us now move on to the integrated weed management, like integrated nutrient management, integrated pest and disease management. This is also catching attention because there are a lot of issues when it comes to regulatory authorities on MRL, maximum residue limits. So let's have some highlights about integrated weed management from you.
Integrated weed management is a scientific and balanced approach of weed management which includes cultural methods, mechanical methods, chemical methods, and also biological methods. Currently, we have proven cultural methods which includes cover crops, mulching.
Yeah.
In mechanical methods of weed control, we have forking, sickling, chilling, and we have several herbicides, synthetic herbicides in chemical approach of weed management. And we also have one of the important and sustainable approach, that is biological method, wherein we can use the biological agents to control the weeds.
Since you talked about the sunlight hitting the ground and then weed germination, so one of the mitigation strategy can be having the full cover by the tea. If there is a vacant area that has to be replenished as quickly as possible to keep the field free from weeds, is that okay?
Yes, sir, of course. Covering the soil is the best and sustainable manner in for weed management.
Is there any way we can cover the soil with other
Yes,
plants
yes,
which
sir.
will be beneficial to us?
We have cultural operations
Okay.
wherein we have several cover crops which covers the soil, that avoids sunlight to reach the soil, and they smother weed growth. TRA agronomy department has done several trials on cover crops previously. So that we have a list of cover crops.
What is the most important cover crop, or what is well known to the planters for that matter?
Sir, we have several cover crops which were already proven. One is cowpea that can be used not only in tea, it is proven cover crop in other crops also.
Okay.
Along with this, in tea, we have studied on desmodium, we have centrosema, we have other list.
Are they naturally growing on the field, or we have to also induce the growth of it, like showing seeds or by artificially cultivating in one or two places so that it just spreads across? What is a mechanism?
Yes, sir. Many of them are leguminous crop.
Yeah.
And, there is another advantage of nitrogen fixation. And among the list of cover crops, we have to externally sow it artificially. We have to sow in, especially in the empty sections or maybe in the vacancies. These cover crops have the property that they germinate and spread in a very short duration, so that it covers the soil and densely they spread throughout the area in between the empty rows. So they smother the weed germination and growth.
Okay. Now, when you talked about mulching, what are the normally available mulching material in the gardens, or
Yes,
recommended ones rather?
mulching means covering the soil.
Okay.
It may be through organic materials or maybe through inorganic or synthetic materials.
Okay.
In vegetative materials, we have water hygiene that is being used in the gardens. We also have straw, paddy straw. We also have guatemala grass.
Yes.
In the rehabilitation, we grew guatemala, and that cut portion of guatemala grass can be spread over the in between the rows of young tea. So that smothers the weeds. Coming to synthetic mulching materials, we have plastic mulch also.
Yes,
but
I
it
have
is
seen
costly.
in many places, particularly as you travel Western countries and
Yes.
abroad, since there are nobody to maintain the field, they just cover it up completely with plastics. I don't know how far it is correct, but then they are successful in doing it. Why not we do it in tea, such stuff?
So plastic material is usually used in vegetable crop, fruit
Yes,
crops,
yes.
and some commercial crops,
Yeah.
but not in tea because it's a costly affair.
Okay.
It is beneficial. It has so many advantages, but due to the cost effectiveness, it is not being preferred. But it should be looked upon, so that you can also you also can have vegetative materials as a mulch material. The materials are available. So for vegetative materials, you should have 25 tons per hectare of vegetative material.
Imagine the cost involved in it.
Yes.
Of course, it's a most recommended and desirable method because it will enhance the organic matter of the soil also. That's fine. But at the same time, when you talk about cost involved for thousands of hectares mulching such material, it will be really high. But then, not that all the areas are prone for weeds. Sometimes, as you rightly said, if you go for deep skiffing or if you go for deep pruning, then you get into weed problem once again. So only those fields, at least, we should try to incorporate this kind of study, wherein we can use some plastic materials for temporary basis and then try to get away from the weeds. Yeah, will it make sense in the future?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As you said, I want to add one more thing that
Yes,
in any tea garden, we have only small area of young tea. At least we can use these type of materials for young tea sections.
yes.
The young tea will last for 5 years. So for 5 years, if you control it, control the weeds effectively,
Yeah.
the bush, young tea bush will flourish nicely, and the future of that tea bush will be good.
Yeah, culturally, before formative pruning,
Yes.
the bush health is very important because
Yes.
that's going to sustain you for next 40, 50 years or even more.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So that way, weed free young tea will be the best for the future
Yes.
growth. Yeah. Now let's talk about the mechanical one because that's also integrated weed
Yes.
management.
There are several mechanical methods proven by TR itself. One is sickling,
Mm.
chilling, and forking. Uh, these are used based on the purpose.
Okay.
When we talk about sickling, if the weeds are have grown taller, the height is too high, then to cut that height, we do usually sickling. Sickling, wherein top portion of the weed is removed,
What will happen to the root portion?
root portion will be intact and only foliage material will be removed or cut. Tea cultivation in hilly areas, there is a slope. There is a if it is a weed free condition, then there is a chance of soil erosion.
Okay.
This is sickling is the best method to control the weed in
Ah,
slopy area,
that is good.
so
Yes.
that the top portion is only removed
Yes.
and the root is intact, so that soil erosion can be minimized.
And the top portion, whatever you have removed, you will just put it back on the soil itself.
Yes, it can also, when it is dry,
Mm.
if it is before flowering, then the foliage can also work as a mulch material.
Yeah. Is there any other method apart from sickling?
Yes, sir. We have chilling, wherein uh, the top soil layer is disturbed with a moon-shaped sickle,
Okay.
wherein the small sized weeds can be uprooted
Mm.
and the weeds can be managed in chilling. Whereas if there is any perennial crop that grows to a height or deep rooted
Mm.
weeds, for removing these weeds, forking is done.
Okay.
Where the soil is disturbed up to 10 centimeter, wherein the root can be uprooted and that can be managed. And one care should be taken during forking is when while doing forking with spade, there will be depressions. And during the monsoon season, there will be chance of water stagnation during in the depressions.
Okay.
So you have to, after forking, you should take care that there will be no depression near to the tea bushes.
And also during forking, there are chances that the feeder root of tea
Yes.
gets impacted.
Yes.
Feeder root is maximum between 0 and 25 centimeter of the height. That means
Yes.
9 inches
Yes.
rather. So that care also should be
Yes.
taken when they do. I've seen the machines which you have been demonstrating in the last during the last AAC meeting. It's well taken up. In fact, I have shown that machine to the planters of Darjeeling, Kachar, and in few other places, even in the AGM also. It's taken up very well by the planters. Is there any work in progress on that further?
The study is going on mechanical weeder, which is a brush cutter, of course, attached with a guard.
Yeah.
That I have fabricated because in empty we cannot use brush cutter as such because the rope can damage the empty. They can cut or even strike in the bark of the empty, so that there will be further infestation of fungus and bacteria. Ultimately, kills the empty
Yeah.
bush. So to protect the empty bush, I have attached a guard uh, to the brush cutters, so that the weeder, the person that who is using that brush cutter can easily move the brush cutter to remove the weeds.
You have the liberty of just hitting both the sides of the bush
Yes.
because the frame will not be impacted
Yes.
by the brush cutter. Yeah,
Yes.
that I understand.
We have fabricated with wheel mounted.
Wheel mounted, I saw that. Yes.
There is an option that we can just attach a guard and we can hold the brush cutter and we can just move it in between the rows carefully so that there will be no harm
Yes.
to the empty bush and the weed control can be done effectively.
And also we should see that we are reducing the weight of the rim, what you are
Yes.
using to protect. The
Correct.
rim weight, we should try to reduce it so that it becomes easy.
Yes. Currently, I have fabricated this guard with the aluminum material, but I'm planning to have it plastic or fiber, which is durable, so that it will be a lighter for the person who is using it. So the efficiency of the person will also increase if it is a lighter version.
And also it should be easily replaceable, because if it breaks in the field operation, the repairing should be able to done in a day without waiting for a longer time. Because as you yourself said, weed management is to be done on a timely basis.
Yes.
If you lose time, then if you leave it to the flowering stage, the weeds which are to be controlled before flowering stage, then it is going to be havoc in the field. The other method which you used for integrated weed management is a biological method.
Yes.
What is that biological method?
Biological method of weed control is using biological agent as a herbicide, which is sustainable and organic way of.
Maybe you are talking about plant extract and the biological extract?
Yes. Currently, we don't have any such microbial agent that can be used as a bioherbicide in tea, and not even the plant extract. But we are working on it. The study is being undertaken in the Department of Agronomy.
Okay.
So in the coming days, we'll have an alternate option of bioherbicide, especially for organic and conventional garden too.
Will it be possible for the garden themselves to prepare or make such kind of organic extract or decoction in their own garden? Is there any biological molecule we can advise people that these are all the grasses you have to pick and extract and then spray it back? Is there any
As
such
such,
work?
as such, there is no such proven bioherbicide that can be used in tea.
Okay. When we talk about integrated weed management, among the 4 methods of weed management, you have already explained 3, and the rest of it is only the chemical control. Can you throw some light on that?
Yes, sir. There are several synthetic herbicides that is being used, especially in young tea. It is only one proven herbicide, that is oxyflorophene. That too, no herbicide can be used before 2 years of age in young tea. After that, you can use glyphosate as a weed control chemically in the young tea also. Other than that, there are several herbicides that are proven and being used in the garden currently. If I can say glyphosate,
Yes.
there are 2 formulations. Glyphosate 41% SL soluble liquid, glyphosate 71% SG soluble granules. We have glufosinate ammonium.
Yes.
We have paraquat dichloride. So both we have systemic herbicide as well as contact herbicide. So glyphosate is the best systemic herbicide, and paraquat dichloride is a best contact herbicide. We have trisulffuran, sulfonafenacil. We have 2,4-diamine salt. We have a new generation herbicide, carfentrazone ethyl plus glyphosate. It's a combination. Carfentrazone ethyl is a contact type, and the glyphosate is systemic. So both the contact and systemic combination works well, and it's a new generation herbicide.
And I hope it is all already incorporated into the PPC.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. So what is the ideal time for going into chemical spraying against weeds?
In maturity, specifically, the weed problem will occur during the pruning time.
Okay.
In the winters, if we do light prune, if we do deep skip, the soil is exposed again, and the
weeds will germinate again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So during this time, weed management is important in maturity.
Okay.
Whereas in young tea, throughout the season, weed management is important because season-wise, the weed species again changes. So we have several herbicides which the residual effect is up to 45 days, 60 days. Again, the weed will
start coming up.
Yes.
So, is there any information on excessive usage of herbicides in the field?
Yes, sir. Excessive usage of herbicide will impact your tea plantation for the future. There is one concept of herbicide toxicity also, and the other one is if you use chemical herbicide more number of time, then your microbial population will get affected. That hampers your growth of tea bushes.
The time is changing and the molecules are getting older. Are we doing any new molecule, new generation molecule of herbicide?
Yes, sir. As I already discussed that we are targeting biological method of
Okay.
weed control. We are trying to develop herbicide using biological agents. We are planning to have new molecules that is already being used in other crops. We also are planning to evaluate those new molecules in the tea sections also, and in the coming years we hope that we will get few more herbicide that can replace the old herbicides.
Yeah. But not in pipeline any new chemical molecules.
No, as such.
Nothing much
No,
as of now.
yes.
Okay. Since we have been using these chemicals, whatever you mentioned, particularly gramoxone and then glyphosate for decades together, is there any resistance in the weed for these molecules reported so far?
As such, in tea, we have not seen any resistance.
Okay.
But nowadays, the planters are complaining about Moriana grass, which is not being controlled by glyphosate. Where the study is going on, we are studying the resistance part, whether the glyphosate is getting resistant,
Okay.
or weed is getting resistant to glyphosate or not.
Glyphosate. I had some visitors in the recent past, and they were complaining about two grasses very heavily. Like one is Moriana, the other one is goose. These two grasses have become menace in their garden. I suppose that should be the case with majority of the gardens as of now. What are the reasons for it?
Sir, one thing many planters are complaining about Elusina indica and Ischiamum indicum, that is goose grass and Moraina grass.
Okay.
In many gardens, these are havoc and they are not being controlled by the current PPC listed herbicides as they are complaining. As I already told you, we are planning to try for new molecules, and we'll in coming days we'll have few more molecules so that it can be controlled with the new formulations. The other thing is why actually it is happening. There is a common thing between these two weeds, that is Moriana grass, Moraina grass, and goose grass. They love sunlight,
Okay.
bright sunlight. So wherever there is bright sunlight, their growth will be profuse. Once winter starts, the sunshine will be less during the winter. These turn from greenish color to red color, red purple color, especially during winter season. It is due to anthocyanin content, and we have one common factor that they love bright sunshine. If you in the simple management, if you can avoid the sunlight in the infested tea sections, this can be effectively managed. How it can be managed? We can have a better shade tree. Shade tree management should be proper. We can use cover crops as we discussed previously. We can use mulch materials. We can use mechanical methods like forking, sickling, and chilling.
So, in short, if any particular species of herbs are not controllable by chemical method, it's better to go for mechanical or any physical method for that matter.
Yes.
Non-chemical method. That will be easy.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Currently, we are studying on whether the Moriana grass or Elusina indica is getting resistant towards the proven herbicides. We will go for the new molecules and we'll study it, and soon we'll get new molecules to the tea industry so that they can manage these two grasses effectively.
So, coming back to the studies, new studies for weed management, if a new molecule comes to your hand,
Yes.
how long it takes for you to complete a trial? Should you go for different season, different agroclimatic zones? How does the protocol work?
There is a protocol for the CIBRC registration. It should be 2 season, minimum 2 season, 3 locations.
Dr. Prasanna, just to conclude our discussions, what are the best ways of controlling the weeds or weed management? What are the best tools we can suggest?
Sir, for a better management and effective management of weed tea sections, we should have
Sprayed.
skilled sprayers.
Yeah.
We should have standard recommended equipments.
Okay.
We should think about this worker safety. We should maintain the recommended dosage,
Yes.
dilution, and timely application of herbicides.
Yeah, that's fantastic. In fact, timely application is one of the
Yes.
very important things. And that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you very much, Dr. Prasanna, for coming here and then sharing your valuable experience and then scientific knowledge with the plantation community here.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.